But the Scranton stuff, that's why I figured I'd come here and explain to you one thing, but I think you people know it better than I do. He left. He abandoned Pennsylvania. He abandoned Scranton. He was here for a short period of time, and he didn't even know it. And today, it's amazing. It goes around in a circle. He still doesn't know it. Okay.
Joe Biden was from Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Donald Trump was right down the block in a way. Let's put that map up, if you will, please. Trump trolls Biden with visit to hometown. He was just 8.5 miles away as he made an appearance at the building products company at Old Forge, Pennsylvania. That was kind of funny there. I want to bring in our all-star political panel, please. We got Kylie Jane Kremer, Executive Director, Women for Trump, and Brandon Straka. It is Straka, even though it has the A after it. You go by Straka. I learned that today. He is the founder of the Walk Away campaign. Really up to some exciting stuff. Welcome to you both. All right, Kylie, real quick. What do you think of the Democratic convention so far? It looks like a colossal bust to me, but I am biased.
Well, thank you so much for having me. But yes, I mean, it's doom and gloom. And after being quarantined in your home for many months, I'm sure that if that's the only thing you're watching on TV, you feel very hopeless. There is no path forward. It's all about, I hate the orange man, Donald Trump is terrible. And they are offering no solution. So I truly do not understand how anyone could vote for VP Biden.
Yes, Brandon Straka. It was a lot of name-calling last night, not much substance. And let's face it, we're all kind of rooting for one side here. But trying to be as objective as I can, I was surprised by the lack of substance. You do a little bit of that at these things, and there was very little last night.
Yes, and I'll tell you what surprised me, actually, and I mean this absolutely sincerely, is I was surprised for all of the left's virtue signaling constantly about diversity. There has been absolutely no diversity, almost no diversity since the beginning of this convention. When you watch, the majority of people that they're propping up or that they're having speak or that they're featuring are white people who are, most of them above the age of 60, and I think I'm being generous, 65, maybe 70 years old. There's no energy, there's no vitality, there's no pulse whatsoever to anything that they're doing. And, you know, for the people who pride themselves on being the party of racial minorities, of LGBT people, I'm not seeing any of that at the DNC convention, maybe because they've all walked away.
Yes, and that's where you come in. I mean, I do see it on the fringes. And again, they look at the world that way. I mentioned President Obama, you know, he sees people now. He mentions their race. It's the first thing he talks about, not who they are as people, not what they do, but the exterior. But there was plenty of, they festooned it with diversity, you know, people of color, those moderators, those MCs, that kind of thing. But the big stars, I guess, not so much. All right, we got some polls to go through. And, hey, this race is tightening up. Rasmussen has it like this. Biden 48, Trump 44, just a 4-point spread. And look, I always knew it was tighter than the fake news was telling us. Might even be tighter than this. Kylie, what do you think?
I think a poll doesn't really mean anything. They all predicted that Hillary Clinton was going to win in a landslide. The only poll that really matters is on Election Day. And to be quite frank, as a millennial female that supports Donald Trump, there are sometimes in some instances where I don't feel safe enough to be able to go out and express my opinion that I support Donald Trump. And there are millions of other people, especially women, that feel that exact same way. So they're not going to tell a pollster or be open and honest, you know, fearing that their kids may face retribution or that they could get attacked in a grocery store. So I don't think that these polls mean anything. And I think that the American people by mass support Donald Trump.
I know exactly what you mean about keeping it mum on the support for Donald Trump. A couple of weeks ago, I actually was with the president, and he was handing out hats. So I asked for one for a friend, and he signed it. I want to show. And then I realized once I parked my car, I had to walk 20 blocks through New York City with this thing, and I had no bag. And
Exactly.
I'm like, what do you do with it? It was a good idea that I didn't wear it. I actually left it under the car, under the seat. I thought it was the best place. I don't need that hassle when I walk down the street. But Brandon, that is really bad, isn't it? I mean, this is supposed to be a free country, but culturally, it's quite intolerant, at least politically.
It's terrible. It's very, very bad. And I think that most people are experiencing this from coast to coast who support the president. Kylie nailed it, that people are feeling intimidated when they're being, even just having your phone ring and having somebody ask you to participate in a poll. A lot of people have become even paranoid at this point, wondering, well, what if I give these answers? Now they've got my phone number, they've got my personal information. Will I be targeted? How will this affect me down the road? But, you know, another analogy that I make when I talk about how people are afraid to answer polls correctly are also look at culturally what's happening right now, you know, with these riots and Black Lives Matter. If you walk through just about any city in America right now, you'll see stores that are plastering up signs in their windows, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Well, this gives the illusion to all of these people, look how popular this movement is. Look how many people support Black Lives Matter. When in fact, the truth is, I think the majority of people who are putting these signs in their windows are doing it as a virtue signal so that their store won't be targeted next when the violent mob comes to smash the windows and start looting. It's not a sign whatsoever that people support them. So there's not very, I think that if you translate that into the analogy of the polls, you'll see the polls cannot be trusted. People are just telling the pollsters what they want to hear.
I am, what you just said is happening, and it's very troubling. It's so un-American. I want to put up a job approval tracking snapshot. Interesting that last night, Donald Trump, actually during the speech of President Obama, former, he shot up about 3 or 4 points. I mean, like mid-speech, it went there. What do you make of that, Kylie? I think that was kind of wild at that same moment.
Well, I mean, I think that that's because people remember when Obama was president, and that was quite scary. You know, people were losing jobs. We were out of work. Kids were either in college, moving home from college because they couldn't get jobs or they couldn't afford to go to college. I mean, I think that that was a perfect example of what we would go back to under a Biden presidency. It would be another 4 years of an Obama-Biden reign. And the American people don't want that. They voted for Obama because they wanted hope and change. And when they figured out that the hope and change that he promised was not what they were actually going to get, they went for something that was the opposite. And that was how we got Donald Trump. Barack Obama created Donald Trump. And the American people love him. They love what he's doing for jobs, the economy, and the way that he's leading our country to push back on China. And we're really proud of him and what he's doing. Yeah. And those poll numbers show that exactly.
Well, after that, maybe I'm going to proudly wear that hat and walk down the block. I won't hide it under the car seat.
You should,
I feel, Greg. Yeah, well, you know, easy for you to say. I'm in New York. By the way, you can see Brandon Straka at a rally. Let's go ahead and put that up on the screen, please. Rescue America Rally, and it is Saturday, August 22nd, which is the day after tomorrow. Wow, you gotta make it happen. Thanks very much. Anything we should know real quick, Brandon, about that?
Yes, please go to walkawaycampaign.com. We're doing Rescue America rallies all around the country every single week between now and Election Day. Keep up with us at walkawaycampaign.com, please. Thank you.
Walkawaycampaign.com. Check it out. Brandon Straka, Kylie Kremer, we appreciate it. Kylie Jane Kremer, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. You bet.